Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. So this video is going to be the preview for tonight's game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It is playoffs, everybody. Yeah, it's playoffs. Yeah, I'm 58 years old. I don't get as excited about it as I used to. But it is the playoffs. I am excited about this series. It is 42 years since the last Montreal-Toronto playoff series. Montreal went on to win the Stanley Cup that year. 1979. And an interesting fact, and I don't think it has anything to do this year, but an interesting fact, when Montreal and Toronto play in the playoffs, the winner of the series goes on to win the Stanley Cup. If it's not a game like a Stanley Cup final series anyway, the winner does go on to win the Stanley Cup. I don't think that is relative really here, considering the era and all that. I don't think it's relative, but you never know, right? Listen, never know. So hopefully Montreal wins and goes on to win the Cup. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to get into all kinds of stuff here. Hopefully I can get through it pretty quickly and make sense of everything I've got here. I just want to remind everybody that the pregame show, my pregame show for the game is at 6 p.m. tonight, and the game is at 7:30, so the game live cast will be at 7:30. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Don't forget to guess the score contest. If you guess the score of the game, and the first goal scorer of the game, leave that comment in the comment section. You can win a prize. The prize will be $10 delivered directly into your bank account. Yeah, $10 because it is the playoffs. Directly into your bank account. And yeah, good luck for that. Leave a comment in the comment section with your guess. I'll give mine at the end of this video. All right, so I've got lineups. I've got stuff I want to say about all these things here for each team. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. All right, so Montreal's lineup tonight will be this. Tatar, Deneau, and Gallagher, first line. That's not unexpected. Toffoli, Suzuki, Armia. A lot of people want Caulfield there with Suzuki. Armia is there tonight. Perry, Stahl, Anderson as the third line. It's a big banging line. We're going to talk about it. Byron, Evans, Lehkonen. Byron, interesting note, 116 hits this year. Small guy, but likes to hit and play a physical style of hockey. Edmondson and Petrie, first pairing, interesting. Merrill and Weber, second pairing. And what's interesting there is I would have bet it was going to be Sherratt, Weber, and it's not. And that's a surprise for me. And Kulak, Sherratt winds up the defensive pairings. Price and Allen, honestly, I haven't seen confirmation of Carey Price yet, so I don't know who's starting. If it's Price, last year in the RTP, he posted a 1.78 goals against and a .936 save percentage for all the games. He was 5-5. Let's hope he can return to those kind of numbers, because those are not his numbers this year. The Habs were first in hits this season in the NHL with 1,585 hits. Offense, 2.82 goals per game for Montreal, 17th in the league. 2.95 goals against per game for Montreal, 14th in the league. On the other side, Hyman, Matthews, Marner, that's definitely a line Montreal has to shut down. Foligno, Tavares, Nylander, another line to shut down. Basically, most of Toronto's offense is in these top two lines, and it's going to be really important how Montreal plays against them and what they do to them. Third line, Mikheyev, Nash, and Kerfoot. It's a good shutdown line. Surprise there, Nash in at center, Kerfoot off to the wing. These guys have never played together before, although Kerfoot, I believe, and Mikheyev have played a lot together. Thornton, Spezza, and Simons. It's the old man line. This could be a very effective fourth line. Depending on how they all play, they have been playing really good, and I expect this to be a very effective fourth line. On defense, Morgan Riley and TJ Brody. That's their big number one line. Muzzin and Hall, much better defensively, that line, than Riley and Brody. And then young Rasmus Sandin with Bogosian. Bogosian is in. We weren't sure if he was going to be in. He's going to be in. He's going to be tough to play against. Not offensively, but he's going to be tough in his own zone, and it's going to make it a little bit harder against the Leafs. Campbell is confirmed as the starter. Anderson, the backup. The Leafs were 27th in hits with 1,003. Offense, 3.32 goals per game for Toronto, 6th in the league, and 2.64 goals against per game, 7th in the league. So you got to say that it kind of favors, offense favors Toronto. On the physicality side, with all the hits, you got to say the physicality is probably going to favor Montreal. But for Leafs fans, if you're watching, I'm not saying that Toronto is going to just roll over on that. I think Toronto is much tougher physically than they have been in the past, and this is not going to be an easy game for Montreal. If to bully them around, and it's not going to be as easy as a lot of Habs fans think. But I think Montreal's going to do that and use their physicality in trying to, take control of these games. All right, so I guess let's get into the offense, right? Line 1 for Montreal is Tatar, Danault, Galley. And, I mean, we know this is a puck possession line. This is the number 1 line for Montreal in handling the other team's number 1 line. So they are a shutdown line. They produce offense. Tatar was the leader last season, anyway, in points. Galley, leading goal scorer for how many years, and this is all done on this first line that controls a lot of the play and the puck and shuts down the other team. So if they play to their best, they're going to make life hard on those top 2 lines for Toronto. What did I write now? Can do it all. They should be stuck to Matthews' line as much as possible, and in Toronto, they're not going to have the matchups, right? The last line change. So they're going to try to match up. I'm sure they're going to try to match them up with the top 2 lines as much as possible. And yeah, that's how it is. Line 2, Suzuki on line 2. Just wanted to say he finished the season 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points in his last 11 games. So Suzuki steps it up at the end of the season. Last year in the RTP, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in 10 games there as a rookie. So you got to expect that those numbers should get better as he's playing his second season in the playoffs. So, but Nick Suzuki's line, what do I write about it? Suzuki's inexperienced. That's the big knock there, is that Suzuki's inexperienced. But he's a guy that steps it up. I don't know, the way he was playing at the end of this season, I think Suzuki's going to be fine. And the experience, I don't think the inexperience is going to affect him too badly. Let's put it that way. So it's a question mark, but I think he's going to handle it well. I like him there with Toffoli. I want to see Caulfield instead of Armia, but I think Caulfield will get in there in, maybe as soon as next game, but let's see what Armia can do there. I think they'll produce some offense. Like I said, Suzuki steps up. They're going to need him to put up some points against these Leafs. Absolutely. Line 3 is Perry, Stahl, Anderson, formerly the scooter line, but with Anderson there, not so much. Called the scooter line because they need a scooter to get from one end of the ice to the other. So Perry last year with Dallas had a great playoffs, and I hope he can repeat that here. Eric Stahl, experienced. Yeah, he's playing shitty up to now in the regular season. I get it. It's a new season. Let's see. I give him 1 game. Let's see if he can show something more. If he doesn't, I mean, we got KK in the wings waiting to get in there. But let's see what Eric Stahl. He's got a lot of experience. He's won a Stanley Cup. He's a team captain before. I mean, let's hope that being the playoffs and it's a new season and all that, and he can just let go of the Buffalo flu that he's had and start over. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, not expecting the best, literally, with Stahl. Line 4 is Byron, Evans, and Lehkonen. I'm not sure which side, Lehkonen, Byron. I've seen it. Byron on the right, on the left, Lehkonen on the right. I've seen other people do it the other way around, so I don't know how it'll turn out. But Byron, like I said, 116 hits for a small guy, plays a physical game, sneaky, fast, good defensively. Byron is a great little player. If he's hot, Byron can really make a difference. Jake Evans. I think Jake Evans could be the Cinderella player for the Montreal Canadiens in these playoffs. Super fast, skilled. He's still got some work to do on that, but I mean, he's got skill. He's got a really big upside, I think. And I think he's got a good opportunity here in these playoffs to really cement a spot on this team and maybe challenge for that third line center job for next year. But I think it's a pretty good. It's a really great line. Lehkonen, fast, smart, good on the defensive side, and can occasionally produce some offense. Yeah, so I think this is a really good line, and yeah, I think they can handle whoever they play against. Let's put it that way. Remember that this line basically, didn't they shut down McDavid, or at least Evans did one game. Pretty much, he handled McDavid right up until the end of the game anyway. And yeah, so I expect some good things from that line. Defense, Edmondson, Petrie, glad to see that they're listed as the #1 pairing, because they're got to be. It's a classic puck mover and stay-at-home guy. They work well together. You don't score a lot when Edmondson's on the ice, and Jeff Petrie he can make some bad mistakes defensively, I'll give you that, but he can have really great games defensively. And the thing is, he can be really kind of lethal offensively. He can snipe the puck from the blue line, from the circles. He can make some really good passes. He's just a smart player, and yeah, so I like this combination as the #1. Merrill Weber, surprised. I'm surprised Sherratt's not with Weber, but I'm not disappointed, except again, it's kind of like two stay-at-home guys again. So why not have Sherratt with Weber at that point? I don't know. I kind of don't understand this pairing personally. So we'll see how it works out. I don't know. Merrill wasn't really great since he's been here, plus-minus wise. Weber says he's 100% ready for these playoffs, so hopefully that'll bear out. Maybe Weber's going to show a little bit more of the offensive side here. I don't know. I'm a little confused by the pairing, but let's hope for the best. Kulak, Sherratt. Yeah, I think that's a good pairing. Kulak can be a puck mover. Sherratt, stay-at-home guy. I think they work well together. Sherratt, hopefully stay away from those really dumb penalties. But I think you got a physical aspect, all three lines. They're going to be hard-hitting. They're going to make the Leafs pay every time they get into close to the net. And yeah, I think that's part of their plan, right? To I don't know about bully, but they're going to be very physical against the Leafs in their own zone. And I think like I said, I'm just a little confused about the second pairing, but let's see how that works out. Over on the other side, and I read like nothing that I wrote, so I'm going to have to for Toronto because I don't know enough about them. But line 1, let's see what I got there. Well, the top 6, powerhouse top 6. I mean, there's no doubt. These guys are elite. You got Marner, Matthews, Tavares, 3 elite players on the top 6. And then you got Hyman, who matches up well with Matthews and Marner, and it's a dangerous line. You've got Nylander and Tavares, who also match up well. And Foligno added in there gives you some toughness and some offense there, too, I think he can produce. So I think this is a really tough top 6 to play against. I'm hoping we can shut them down, and we're going to have to. If we can shut down these guys to some extent, right? If not fully, because you can't expect to fully shut them down, but if we can shut them down to some extent, you're going a long way towards being able to beat these guys. Mikheyev, Nash, Kerfoot, I don't know enough about them. I know Nash is kind of a defensive center. I hear, from what I understand, watching Steve Dangle, nothing much happens when he's out there. But it's good. I mean, you don't score against the team much, but they don't score much. But you got Kerfoot and Mikheyev. Mikheyev can score. Kerfoot can be good. Surprised Kerfoot's on the wing, though, but I guess if Nash is going to be in there, that's how it's got to be. I don't know. I think this could be a really good shutdown line. And if it is, it's going to really be a problem for Montreal. Thornton, Spezza, Simons, the old line, but, I mean, you go back 10 years, and these were great players. And if they have a little bit of the magic from when they were younger, which I suspect they will, they'd love to win a Stanley Cup. Thornton would love it. And yeah, I think they're going to be very motivated and very capable fourth line. No matter who they play against, quite honestly, I think against Montreal, I think they can pretty much play against any line and be okay. So depending on how the matchups come out, so I'm not talking so much about in the first 2 games, but when they get to Montreal and they don't have the matchups, I think they'll still be fine playing against whatever line Montreal throws out against them. Riley and Brody. Morgan Riley. Offensive defenseman. Like, I think he's definitely top notch there. Problem is, Riley is kind of, in a way, and I think he's worse at this than Petrie, but like sometimes Petrie just seems to have a brain fart and make a huge defensive error at a bad time. Riley does that as well, like from what I understand, a lot. So is Brody able to handle and make up for that? And because if so, that's a really good, I think, pairing. You've got a good stay-at-home guy in Brody. You've got an offensive guy in Riley, and I think that makes a good match. And it depends on the kind of mistakes Riley's going to make. And can Brody cover up for it? Muzzin and Hall, I think, is your best defensive pairing. I don't know that they score a ton, but definitely these guys are bruising, big guys. Muzzin is big and plays hard-nosed game. And he's going to make it not fun to play against them. That's for sure. Sandin and Bogosian. Sandin's young. Bogosian, I know he's tough. He doesn't put up a lot of offense, but he's tough to play against. So if Sandin can step up and have he's a young kid, he can have a sort of establish himself here. And you got Bogosian playing a good defensive style, bruising, tough game. It could be really tough for Montreal against this defense, so we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, that's the best I can come up with. Campbell, confirmed starter. Montreal, I think Montreal has fits against Campbell. It's going to be a challenge to find goals against Campbell. So, yeah, I think not surprised he's starting. And if he falters, well, you got Anderson there. And Anderson, I think, is a good goalie. And if that's your 1-2, you got the same kind of quality we've got as far as in net. So I don't know. I think this is going to be a really close series, personally. I think the games are going to be tight. And I think all around they match up well against each other for a good tight series. Kind of yin-yang. I get that. It's kind of yin. I'm not saying they're the same teams, but I think in a series it's a good matchup. I did the offense. We're going through the lines. I went through the defense. Special teams. Let's talk about special teams. Both teams have problems here. Toronto should have a great power play, and the last couple of months of the season, their power play, quoting from Leafs fans, is garbage. And we can say the same thing for Montreal. Power play kind of sucked at the beginning of the year. They made the coaching change. Power play got good, but then leveled out and then took a nosedive. And then kind of was very inconsistent. So don't know what we're going to get on that. And same thing for the PK on both sides. They ended the season, I think, the same number, 78.5%. So it's the same problem, right? Inconsistent PK. Montreal's PK can be great. I imagine same thing could be said about Toronto. So special teams depends. I think whoever special teams show up and have a good series could mean that's the team that wins. I think. Depth. Okay, I'm going to have to go to what I wrote here for depth. Depth. Okay, I think for Montreal, I think they have solid depth. You got Froley, KK, Caulfield. You got Jesse Alonen on the Black Aces. Alex Belzile, Lucas Vedimo, Cale Fleury, Otto Leskinen. You got Primo and Lindgren as the goalies that are backing up there. I hope we don't have to go to one of them. Honestly, I don't. But it's solid depth in case of injury. As long as it's not long-term injury. If a guy's out for a couple of games, you got guys that can come in and fill in and do great jobs, I think. So we're good there. As far as Toronto, I think it's kind of the same thing for Toronto. Honestly, I think they have the depth needed, like Montreal. But like Montreal, it depends on who needs replacing and for how long, right? So I kind of give them. I'm going to. By the way, I'm going to give the offensive lines here. I'm going to give the defense pretty much, I'm going to give it even. So I'm not giving to either one. And special teams, same thing, even. And it's the same thing for the depth. I think they're pretty even as far as, I think they both have good depth. And depending on how long they have to use the depth, it could, that could make the difference. Yeah, I think if you're a Habs fan, you're going to say Montreal has better depth. And if you're a Leafs fan, you're going to say Leafs have better depth. And that's what I think. Coaching. Now, I'm not, as far as for Montreal, I wrote this. I'm not a fan of what I've seen so far from Dominic Ducharme or Burrows or Luke Richardson, to be honest with you. Since the coaching change, this is an opportunity to prove me wrong, and I hope they do. Ducharme's record is 15, 16, and 7. Not good. I question often his decisions, his line juggling, his strict use of veterans at times when maybe it'd be best to bring in the kids. It doesn't seem like the coaching from Ducharme that I was expecting when he got here, that I heard about. So I don't know. Now, on the other side, Sheldon Keefe has only about 5 games of playoff coaching experience. Does that make him better than Ducharme? I don't know. I don't know if there's an edge here or not. Still 2 young coaches. Keefe has a little bit more experience. I get that. And I think just based on that little bit more experience for coaching for Keefe, I think they have a slight edge. So I'm going to give it right now to Toronto. But maybe Ducharme proves us all wrong. And he looks brilliant in the playoffs. And who knows. But going in, first game, that's what I'm going to go with. And I think that's all I got prepared. It's time to remind you of my pregame show at 6 and my live cast at 7:30 for the game. Hopefully I'll see you there. And let's do the Guess the Score contest. If you guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game, you will get the $10 prize directly into your bank account via Interac. So I'm going to give you mine. I can't win, obviously, but just to give you guys an idea so you're sure of what we're doing. You're probably all going to laugh at me because I think with what I've said here, it probably looks like Toronto will win this game. And I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting that Toronto will win this game. I'll be honest with you, right? But I'm honestly not taking Toronto. I think Montreal has a chance. And it's just going into the game, I'm expecting Toronto, right? But the game starts and Montreal is a good showing. And, you know, I might feel differently. That's what I'm expecting is going to happen. I'm just nervous about how Montreal is going to look going in. So, as I said, I'm expecting Toronto to win, but I'm not calling for it. I'm calling for it to be a tight game, 3-2 Montreal. I'm hoping not in overtime. Overtime during the season is 5 minutes. I'm hoping we don't go to 1, 2, 3 overtimes. First goal, I'm going to give to the captain. Shea Weber, back, feeling 100%. A blast from the point or from the top of the circle is going to beat Campbell for the first goal. That's how I'm calling it. 3-2 Montreal in Game 1. If Montreal can beat Toronto in Game 1, they legitimately do have a chance to win this series. That's what I think. I think if they win either one of the 2 first games. But it's really going to... Toronto's really going to come back nervous as hell in Game 2 if Montreal can win Game 1. So let's hope they pull that off. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your guess is for the Guess the Score contest. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That'll get you many more videos like this, all about the Habs. And your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Hopefully I'll see you guys at the pregame show and the live stream. They're both live. The pregame show is live as well. You can take part if you want. You can even get on and ask a question. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. See you at the game. Go Habs, go. Go Habs, go. Bye, everybody.